Salvete and salutate. Chapter 14. Capitulum quartum decimum. Novus dies. A new day. Now, after this chapter, we're going to go through the review of everything we learned in the last few chapters. And everything going to get longer. We're going to add on a lot more new stuff. And that's fun for us, right? What we consider hard or harder just means it's getting funner in our mentality, right? For learning anything, especially a language, challenges, solving, getting understanding, remembering, all these things is fun to us. And that's what we tell ourselves, right? Never boring, never hard. We switch that word to fun. So let's have some fun. Chapter 14. Let me get my drink. Novus dies. Nox est. It is dark. It is night. Familia dormit. The family is sleeping. Villa Iuli obscura et quieta est. The villa of Julius was dark and quiet. Marcus quietus in lecto suo cubat, is bene dormit. The quiet Marcus being quiet, in his bed, lays in his bed, cubat, lays. He is sleeping well. Quintus dormire non potest, quod et caput et pes ei dolet. Quintus sleeping. Quintus is not able to sleep because his head and his feet is hurting. Brachium quoque dolet quinto. Itaque is non dormit, said vigilat. The arm of Quentin is also hurting. And so he does not sleep. He is not asleep but awake. Cubiculum in quo quintus cubat non magnum est, nec magnum est cubiculum Marci. The room in which Quentin is laying is not big, neither is the room of Marcus big. Utrumque cubiculum parum est. Each of the rooms is small. A new word, utrum, and each. Uterque puer cubat in cubiculo parvo, nu eter in cubiculo magno. Each of the boy room is small. Each of the boy lays in a small room, neither in a big room. And again, I gotta translate it exactly. Even if English I can make out, translate this, it speak a little different in Latin. So I gotta, even if it sound funny, says he teaching certain points that in cubiculo parvo in the little room. Neutrum cubiculum magnum is neither, and another new word, neuter, which we can see neutral, which is neither, right? Neither masculine or feminine, just neutral, neither this or that. Neither are the rooms big. And neither room is big. Uterque puer quietus es, ne uter puer se moved. Both of the boys are quiet. Neither of the boys is moving themselves. Alter puer dormit, alter vigilat. Another new word. So we having fun right now. We having a lot of fun right now learning. So we got alter. You can see in there is alternative, right? Alternate. One of the boys is sleeping, the other is awake. So one or the other, alter. That's how we express that. And uter, each, usually dealing with two things. Nueter, also dealing with one or the other, but and neither one or the other. And basically where we get our word neither from. That's it so far. Yeah. Uter, nueter, uter, and alter, which is one or the other, alternatives. Alter e duobus pueris vale, alter agrotat. One of the two, so you say one out of two, one out two of the boys is healthy, the other is sick. Uter puer agrotat, Marcusne and Quintus. And is a new word meaning or. Marcusne and Quintus. Which one of the boys is sick? And you see uter is still being used as one or the other. Which one in this case, since we're asking the question? But we're making a statement, we'll say each or both. Quintus agrotat, Marcus valet. Quentin is sick, Marcus is well. And that's another good way to remember, using well instead of sick or not sick, or healthy or not healthy. Well, because you see a wallet, got that W sound. I do things like that and use the one closest to the sound of the Latin to help me remember what it means. Good thing. Aer frigidus cubiculum Marci intrat, fenestra enim aperta est. So the air, the cold air, aer frigidus, enters the room of Marcus, for the window is open. Fenestra enim apera est. Marcus fenestra apera dormit. Marcus Marcus sleeps with, let's see, appellativo, open window. And yeah, that's what they just did just now. The ablative absolute. So let's have some fun. A noun or a pronoun with a participle or an adjective in agreement may be in the ablative to define the time or the circumstance of the action expressed by the main verb. Some examples. Marcus fenestra aperta dormit. Let me just get that one. Marcus sleeps. And you can put with in front of that without having apud or with in the sentence, because you're dealing with this construction called an ablative absolute in Latin. With an open window. And the second example, line 18, is fenestra clausa dormit. He sleeps with the closed window, or with this windows closed. Whoever how you comfortable in your English tongue to translate that, but that's what you can do. You can use these constructions to express things. Quintus qui oculis apertis jacet. Quentin, who lays with, again, with his eyes open. Or Quentin laying with his eyes open. And then so on and so on. Fenestra Quinti aperta non es. The window of Quintus is not open. Atra e duabus fenestris es aperta. Altra clausa. One of the windows, of the two windows, is open. The other is closed. I remember altera is one or the other in your sentence. And even though, again, we use two, we use two, do a boost of the two. Right forward. An example of that. I think the first one we ain't use the word two, but we still can say two, so we know we're dealing with two things. Ultra fenestra clausa est fenestra quinti. Which of the windows is closed? The window of Quintus. Is fenestra clausa dormit, quia ager est. His window is closed. No. His window, merely he sleeping with a closed window because he is sick. Eke galus canit. Hukuru, hukuru. Look. The rooster is crowing. Gallus canens novum diem salutat. The crowing rooster greets the new day. And that's a new construction. I guess they will show me next. Yep. The participum praesens. This is basically, when I see that ends, that usually could be the major construction, you see. I always know that's like ing in my mind, so that's a good way to remember that. And that's how you break down. You would know basically where to use this. So we're going to see some examples of that and ablative absolute for the rest of the way in this series. And that's the neuter, masculinum, femininum, neuter. I just like to look at these because you see everything common. The nominative and the accusative on both singular and plural common. The genitive was really common with a lot of different genitives in different houses. Also, the dativus and the ablativus similar. And participium, presens, and you got the full conjugations, just like we got in other verbs. All the verbs got this conjugation. Puella vigilans, the looking girl or the awake girl, waking girl. Magister docens, the teacher. Puer currens, the running boy. Mater audiens, the hearing mother. And the participium presens participles are used in Latin even more extensively than in English. They can express a great variety of subordinate relations such as time and circumstance, cause and occasion, and that's why we can use different terms because they got different usages, condition and concession. And we're going to see some examples of all these, I believe. So, and we'll use different words. We'll use like because, wow. We'll see. Marcus oculos non apret neque se movet. Marcus does not open his eyes and neither moves himself. Nor move himself. Quintus qui oculis apertis jacet, super lectum se vertit. And we already got our first example. Say Quentin, who is lying with his eyes open. Say we use with in its ablative absolute, with his eyes open, turns himself upon the bed. Upon the bed, super lectum. Puer domies calum catentem non audit. And they use it twice. So they use the participle participium. And this boy, the sleeping boy, does not hear the crowing rooster. So you see, it gives you much more dynamics to work with. It's very dynamic language. Puer domiens galum contentem non audit. Puer vigilans galum audit et davum vocat. Dawe. The boy hears the crowing. The weak boy or the walking boy hears the crow and calls Davus. Davus cubiculum entrans interrogat. Commodore se habet pes tuus hodie. Davus entering, and you see another usage of this structure. Davus entering the room, ask how or in which way. Right, quomodo, and we already had modal in the last one. Still using that. How is your foot today? How is the foot of yours today? Quintus responde, pes male se habet, nec pes tantum se etiam caput et brachium dole. Quintus responds, my foot hurts, or my foot is unwell. I have a unwell foot. And not only my foot, but also my head and my arms hurt. All quam longa nox is, sed jam mane is, nam galus canit, dahip mihi aquam dawe. Oh, how long the night is. But now it is morning, and the rooster crows. Give me water, Darby. And we got a new word, a new structure. Basically, it's saying new, but it's like give to me water, dative. But we say just give me in English. That's how we say that today. And Davus cuento aquam in poculo dat. Davus gives water to Quentin in a cup. Puer aquam bibit. The boy drinks the water. Servus puerum bibentem aspicit. The servant looks at the boy drinking the water. Drinking. Looks at the drinking boy. Daus quintum in lecto iacentem relinque et cubiculo marci intra. Daus leaves Quintus in bed, laying in bed, and enters the room of Marcus. Let's see, laying in Canton. I always say the structure just show me ing when I see it. In bed, in lecto. And again, we're all unscrambling it, so always try to listen to it like that. Davus Quintus. So you know, I got the two characters, the subject and the nominative, and we're about Davus and Quintus. And lecto iacentem, in bed laying, relinquit, he leaves. Who leaves? The first person you name, the nominative. Davus leaves. Leaves who? Leaves Quentin in bed laying. But in our English mind, it's Davus leaves Quentin laying in bed and enters the room of Marcus. And again in Latin, and in the room of Marcus, he enters. Still talking about Davus. You can see that whole thing just like how it's written, and it'll still make sense. And I always suggest people, if you're listening to a fact, just pay attention to the words, and it'll all make sense at the end of the sentence. Marcus ad hoc dormit. Marcus is still sleeping. Ad hoc, it's meaning to this, technically, but to that, stuff like that. But this means still doing this. Let's look that up and see. Let's see what they say. To this, still, as yet, here, heat here too, to this point. You see how dynamic it is, right? Hold on. So let's continue. Davus ad pererum dormientum adit. Davus ad puerum dormientem adit. Eumque excitat. Marce manest. Davus goes to the sleeping boy's room and wakes him up. And you see, excites something, right? You waking it up. Marcus, it's morning. Quomodo servus puerum excitat. You see, how did the servant wake the boy? And you also can see in that also, in which way or which mode. So basically, we just say how. In aram pueri dormientis, magna voce clamat. In the ear of the sleeping boy, he shouts with a loud voice. Eo modo excitator Marcus et oculos aperiens serum apud lectum statem videt. And that way he woke Marcus. And with his eyes open, he sees the servant standing by his bed. And again, remember, with his bed, that don't make sense now, so we just turn that to by. Namni eter e duebus pueris dormit. Now neither of the two boys is sleeping. Horror prima es inquit Davus surge lecto. It's the first hour, said Davus. Get up out of bed. Or get up from the bed. Surge. And that's just like surge. When you surge, when something surges, it gets up, goes up like a wave surge. Marcus electo surgit. Marcus gets up out of the bed. From the bed. Or from out eggs. If we put that in there too, you'll see that's really dynamic. It can probably be 100 different things to express eggs. Let me see. From, of, out of, on, by, through, out from, forth. Go on and on and on. Yam non cubat in lecto, se ante lectum stat. Now he is out. Now he is not laying in bed, but in front of, stands in front of the bed. Let that bus go by. I will go faster and just let's get back up to the story, right? Marcus Davum, aquam efferri ubet. Affermihi aquam ad manus. Marcus orders Davus to get him some water. I don't like to say fetch. I'll come bring him some water. Bring me water for my hands. Servus Marco aqua afferret in et ecce aqua inquit. The servant gets water for Marcus and says, look, water. Lava faciem et manus. Manus tuae sordidae sunt. Wash, lava, your face and hands. Your hands are dirty. Sordida. You say sordida, dirty, pura, like pure, for clean. Marcus primum manus lavat, diende faciem. Marcus first washes his hands and then his face. Davus diki, ares coque lava. Wash your ears also, said Davus. Said ares inquit Marcus, in facie non sunt. but ears, or the ears, said Marcus, is not on my face. Not in facie, on my face, on the face. Take puer, no modo faciem, se totum caput lawa. Merge caput in aquam. Shut up, boy. Not only your face, but wash your whole head. Total head. Merge, and that's the opposite of surge. Merge, right? When you merge into water, you go down into merge. Put your head in the water. So surge, we know, is get out. Merge is go in or down. Marcus caput totum in aquam mergit, atque etiam aresit capellum lawat. Marcus immersed his whole head in the water, and also his ears, and washes his ears and hair. Iam totum caput eius purum est. Now his whole head is clean. Aqua non est pura, sed sordida. The water is not clean, but dirty. Aqua qua Marcus lavator frigida est, itaque puer manus et caput solum lavat, non totum corpus. The water in which Marcus washed is cold. Also, the boy hands and head it's not only the boy hands and head, but his whole body. Basically, the boy not only washes his hands and head, but his whole body. Mane Romani faciem et manus aqua frigida lavant, post meridiem totum corpus lavant aqua calida. In the morning, the Romans washes their face and hands in cold water, in aqua frigida. Post meridiem, afternoon, they wash their whole body in hot water, aqua calida, in hot water. Marcus caput et manus tergens, davum interrogat, cur fater meus tam quietus est. Marcus asked Davus, Marcus wiping his head and hands, asked Davus. I was about to say, we can put things like wow. Say Marcus asked Davus while wiping his head and hands, right? Say that more than one way. Absolute ability. No, that's the part. Keep you on. Then he asks him, why are my brother is so quiet? Why is my brother so quiet? Davus responded, Quintus arhuc in lecto est. Quintus is still in bed. In lecto, Quintus, qui ante me surgere solet, arhuc dormit, excita eum. Say in bed, Quintus, who usually gets up before me. Sergey gets up ante me, before me. Arhuk dormit, still sleeping. See, Quintus, who usually get up before me, is still sleeping. Wake him up. Esquita eu. Non dormit, inquit Davus. Frater tuus vigilat, nec sugere potes, qua pes et caput ei dole. He's not sleeping, said Davus. Your brother is awake, and not able to get up, because his foot and his head is hurting. Mi quoque caput dole. My head is also hurting. Tibi nec caput nec pelus dole. Caput valens non dole, nec membra valentia. Your head is neither hurting, your head nor your feet is hurting. A healthy head, and that's valens, caput valens, you can say a healthy head, or a head that's healthy. See, different things you can say to express that way. A healthy head don't hurt, neither nor healthy limbs. Per fenestra apertam intrat aer frigidus. Through an open window enters cold air. Marcus frigit, qua corpus eius nudum est, ides sine vestimentis. Itaque Marcus vestimenta sua a servo poscit, damihi tunicam et togam, vestime. A cold Marcus. Marcus is cold because his body is naked, nudum. That's like, already can hear it, nude and that nude, right? Which is someone, which is without, that is without clothes. Basically saying naked, meaning that is without clothes, vestimentis. And so Marcus asks, poscit, for his clothes from the servant. And then he asks, give me my tunica, and my toga. Dress me. So again, before I translate it, always try to pause it and translate before me and see if you're right. Davus puero frigente tunicam et togam dat. Neque vestit, necesse puerum ipsum se vestiri. Davus, give the cold boy his tunica and toga. You see on the side the tunica and the toga. And this is a wearer togatus, toga wearing man, man in toga. Toga man. So he said, but he said, Davos bring gives to the cold boy his tunica and toga. And he don't dress him. It is necessary for the boy to dress himself, for the boy himself to dress himself. Ipsum and se in that. So you got two itself, himself, and it's himself. So Basically, we know we don't need to both of those themselves in our modern day. We can just say it's necessary for him to dress himself, or it's a must for the boy to dress himself. Marcus primo tunica induit, diende toga. Marcus first puts on induit, the tunica, and then diende, then. We ain't never had that before, so remember, diende is then, his toga. Puer jam nudus non es. The boy is now not naked. Togas vestimentum album, quod viri et pueri Romani gerunt. A toga is a white clothing, vestimentum, for that, because the boys and the men and the boys are wrong where that the men and the boys are wrong where. Graeci et barbari togam non gerunt. The Greeks and the barbarians does not wear the toga. Multis barbaris magna corporis pars nuda est. Many foreigners, that's all he really talking about, is nude on most part, and a large part of their bodies, corporis. Viro togato nulla pars corporis est nuda, praeter brachium alterum. The togaed man is not nude on parts of his body except his arms. Except his other arm. Utrum brachium viro togato nudum est, dextrumne an sinistrum. Which of the arms of the togaed man is nude, the right or the left? Dexter and sinistra. Dexter is right and sinistra is left. Brachium dextrum est nudum, brachium sinistrum toga operitur. The right arm is nude, the left arm is covered with the toga. Milites toga non gerunt, nemo enim togatus, gladio et scudo punare potest. The soldier does not wear a toga, for no one in the toga are able to fight with the sword and the shield. Utramanu miles gladium gerit. In which hand does the soldier, you can say, hold a sword? Because wear a sword ain't going, you got many different understandings, metaphysics. Manu dextra gladium gerit, scutum gerit manu sinistra. His right hand he holds the sword, his left hand the shield. He holds the shield. Marcus, qui pedibus nudis ante lectum stat, calceos posci. Da mihi calceos Pedes frigent mihi. Marcus, who feet is naked, who are bare feet, he can use bare in that sense, stands before his bed and asks for his shoes. Give me my shoes, my feet is cold. Davos ei calculos dat et eum secum venere iubet. Veni mecum Dominus et Domina te expectat. Davos gives him his shoes and orders him to come with him. Then he says, come with me. The master and mistress is waiting on you, waiting for you. Te. Marcus cum servo atrium intrat. Ubi parentes sedent libros expectantes. Marcus, with the servant, enters the atrium where his parents are sitting, expecting the children. Ante eos in parva mensa panis et malas sunt. Before them, on the small table, bread and are apples. There are bread and apples. Parentes a filio intrat salutantur. Salve pater e mater. E ipsi filium intrantem salutant. Salve Marque. And they give you this in two different ways. I like how he did this. Say the parents greeted the boy entering. The parents is greeted by the boy, by the son entering. Hello, mother and father. And greeted the entering son himself. Salve Marque. Mater alterum filium navidens daum interrogat. Quintus quomodo se habet hodie. The mother, not seeing her other son, asked Davos, what's up with Quintus today? Or how Quintus doing today? Quintus digit, non modu pedem, se etiam capu dolere. Quintus says, not only his feet, but also his head hurts. Aemilia surgit et ad filium ad glotatem abit. Amelia gets up and goes out to her sick, unhealthy son. Mater filio suo agro tanti panem et malum dat. Sed ille, qui multum esse solet, hodie nec panum nec malum est. Puer agrotans nihil esse potest. So the mother give an apple and bread to her sick son. But those who, by him, who's able, or who usually eats a lot, multum esse, eats a lot. Today is not able, or he today don't eat neither the bread nor the apple. A sick, unhealthy boy is able to eat nothing. Try to make sure I say all the words on the screen. Don't skip none. Marcus autem magnum malum a partre poscit. Da mihi illu malum pater. Venter vacus es mihi. Marcus, however, asked his father to give him a large apple. Asks for a large apple from his father. And you see, I had to correct myself, even though I still say the same thing twice. I gotta make sure I say it just like he see, because he tell it from the father. When you translate in these things, it'll be just go with what he's saying, so you know and get used to it. Then he said, "Give me that illud malum, that apple, pater, father. My stomach is empty." And literally, the stomach empty is to me. Julius Marco panem dans. Julius gave bread to Marcus. Primum est panum inquit diende malum. I almost say thin. Julius gave the apple to Marcus. He said, first eat the bread. Es panum. And that's the second person for eat, telling them to eat, telling him you do this, talking to one person, right? First eat the bread, he says, inquit. Then he says, then the apple. Marcus panem suum est. Marcus eats his bread. Diende pater ei in utramque malum dat et. The father, then his father, in both hands gives an apple, or puts an apple in both of his hands, and says, Alterum malum nunc es inquit alterem tecum fer. He says, eat one apple now, the other take with you. Tecum, with you. Remember, mecum, thou was tell him, come with me. Mecum, with me. Davus Marco, librum et tabulum et stilum et regulum affert. Davus brings to Marcus his book, his tablet today. We call it a tablet, iPad. Hey, we been had tablets since the ancient times. I knew. A tablet, his stilum or pen, right with a stilum, and a ruler, a regula. Ege davus tibi librum et cetera res tuas affert, sume res tuas atquiabi. He said, look at Davus bring to you your book and your other things, res. It's like another fourth declension word like dei or deos, all those fourth declension words just mean things. Res. We got that in our quote, law, English law, all this in English law. And he said, look at you bring your book and your other things. Pick up your things and go. Abi. Said who now venit medus, inquit Marcus. But why are not medus coming? Oh, they're going too long right now. Okay, let's finish this up. Se acordará when Medus. Why is Medus not coming? Qui Medus arhu in familia esse putat. He said, in which he believed that Marcus to still be, or he thinks Marcus to still be in the family. Thinking Marcus to still be in the family. He asked him, why is he not coming? Is servus cum pueris ire solet, omnes res eorum portans. Say, for this servant who usually goes with the boys and carry all his things. Same thing. Marcus ipse nulla rem portare sole praetor malum. Praeter malum. Marcus himself usually don't carry or not able to carry his things. I usually don't carry his things except an apple. Carry the things except an apple. Medus te cum ire non potes. Hodie neces te solum ambulare. And Julius Dicit. Medus is not able to go with you. Te cum ire, to go with you. Today, you must be able to walk yourself, by yourself, solo. It is necessary that you able to walk yourself, or it is necessary that you walk yourself. Another double. Aque me ipsum omnes res me asputare, cur ille servus mecum inere non potes ut sole, etiam ne meru capudole. He said, and it is must I basically myself carry all my things? Why doesn't that slave come with me? Why is that slave not able to come with me as usual? Ut sole, like usual. Also, does Meru's head also hurt? Puer arhuc improbe. The boy stole bad. And Julius Dicit. Imo bene vale medus. Imo bene vale medus. Se hodie alias res agit. On the contrary, Medus is feeling well. It's good. Say, but today he had other things to do. Quae sunt illae res? What are those other things? What are those things? Julius nihil ad hoc respondit, et iam inquit tempus est discedere Marce. Julius not responding to that, and now, says Julius, it's time to go, Marcus. Marcus malum librum tabulum stylum regulamque circumferens e villa habit. Marcus, this apple, book, ruler, pen, tablet, with this tablet, pen, and ruler, leave um, carries himself with him and goes out of the villa. Marcus carries with him his Apple book, tablet, pen, and ruler, and leaves out the villa. Filius pater discens, vale pater inquit. The son, leaving from his father, says, "Bye, father. Be well." Vale Marque, responded pater, bene ambula. "Be well, Marcus," responds the father. "Have a good walk." Quo it Marcus cum rebus suis? Where is Marcus going with his things? Vide capitulum quintum decimum. You know, I ain't off like one of the old Batman shows. See you in the next episode. So see in chapter 15 where he's going with his things. And we can see a preview of chapter 15 right here. Magister et discipuli, the master and the student. Marcus librum et tabulam et ceteras res ferens tusculum ambulat. So Marcus walks the tusculum with his book, his tablet, and other things, carrying his book, tablet, and other things. So we'll see you in capitulum quintum decimum. Valete.